Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome again to this session product launch pad of the occasion of Hong Kong TDC Hong Kong International Lighting Fair Autumn Edition 2017. 各位来宾，大家好！再一次欢迎大家来临香港贸发局香港国际秋季灯饰展2017产品推广及发布会。我们这个环节呢，有来自莱德斯照明科技有限公司的代表跟我们分享一下他们最新的产品。So at this session, we have representatives from LEDUS Lighting Technology Limited to share with us their latest products. So let's put our hands together to welcome Tony and Cherry, and also Andrea on stage. So now I'd like to pass the time to Tony to share with us.
Check. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. On behalf of LEDUS Tech Pro, we're very happy to have you here. And over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to go over what we have exciting, what's new coming for us. Okay, so let's give a little bit of a background of lighting. As you know, from the moment we are born, from the moment we open our eyes, we start this world with light. Let's see. There we go. There's a beautiful skyline of Hong Kong as well as the rest of the world, and the bulbs. So let me talk to you guys a little bit. I'd like to give a little brief about the company profile. So we're part of the Tech Pro Group. We were listed in 2007, and we acquired a professional football club, Sochaux Montbéliard, in France in 2015. We also operate real estate management all over pretty much globally, but of course our biggest focus, our number one business is LED lighting. So that's why we're here again. Thank you so much for coming again. We have pretty much R&D centers and representation all around the world globally, from Silicon Valley, California, where I come from Spain, from my counterparts from Europe, to of course the rest of mainland China, as well as Hong Kong, as well as the rest of the world. There's a little bit of an English writing to it, so we have a lot of people from around the world here, so these are a little bit brief, so I can tell you guys more about these companies afterwards. Come see me. So, why are we here? Our brand LEDUS. We've been very, very active in the Hong Kong Lighting Fair since 2012, and we thank the Hong Kong Lighting Fair again for giving us an opportunity again to be here to show you what we have new. So we provide pretty much all ranges of LED lighting products. Of course, bulbs, and then we also provide innovative technology lighting such as magic bulbs to tubes to white panels, and we're going to get into details of that. We have, as I mentioned before, R&D centers in US. Our sales and marketing focuses also in US, mainland China, as well as the rest of Europe, and Shanghai as well. So we have distributorships where we don't have sales directly or office. We have distributorships, mostly, especially in Europe, in Belgium, France, Italy, Japan, as well as South Africa and Zimbabwe. As you can see, we are truly global company. Literally everywhere in the world we are. So let's start with the first one. While I was here, 2011, Tech Pro LEDUS is the number one team that I've seen that focuses on the latest. They found out about Exclera. We were the first company to launch AC linear technology back here in 2011, and we started working with LEDUS from the very beginning. Their products such as LED white tubes, as well as downlights I have in my hand, as well as now all the way to flicker-free products. LEDUS was one of the first companies to ever hit the market, not only in Asia, but also in Europe and around the world, and they've been leading it ever since. So most of you know about the linear drivers now. A lot of people are doing it, but we were the first one, and LEDUS was the first company to launch these products over here. Any further details on these, you can come see us at our booth, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. This was what was the latest news back in 2011, 2012. We were so excited about. But as I said, LEDUS is always chasing new technologies. So here comes the big news today. Okay, so bear with me now. This is a very new product. You can see in front of me a little bit. It's a polymer substance product. We're actually calling this one is Nitride A-104. We're going to geek out a little bit, as the folks back in Apple would say. So here's a little efficacy characteristics. I'm going to get into it on the next slide. So let me hold one in my hand. Pretty much, let me give you guys a briefing. So it's an anti-static product as well, and the biggest advantage is thermal, as well as the heat dissipation. We have the electrical insulation and stability is very strong. It passes all the resistance issues, and the material is very good for high injection. Now, here's the biggest difference. Here I have in my hand a typical heatsink without our technologically advanced polymer nitride. A typical heatsink, the higher the power is, the bigger this thing in my hand would have to be to try to conduct the heat protection and the thermal distribution of the heatsink. We all know, we all have it. But with our latest product, here it is. We call it the polymer. We actually integrate the heatsink into the product, and we do the cover for it. It actually comes lighter, and we're going to talk about the product's detail now. The bigger heat sinks, such as 50 watts, 100 watts, 150 watt powers, stay on this slide for me, has always had a problem of dissipating the heat. What we have here, what we call it the electric repulsion. Again, further details I'll explain you at our booth later. We get the heat into the product through our electric repulsion. We actually combine it, mix it with air, and we kick it back out. So not only does the heat get distributed very evenly, but most importantly, very quickly. So the product does not get hot at all at any point for more than a half a second. Let's go to the next one. So, and we have multiple different combinations. In my hand, I'm holding a 50 watt solution with a 50 volt high voltage LED. So this is a COB type. And as you see in front of me, we can combine it with 4, make it 200 watts. We can make it 300 watts. Without our technology, with the just general heat sinking, this thing would be huge, heavy, and ugly. Let's go to so you can see one on the top right without our polymer, and it's got all kinds of tough edges that we avoid by covering it up. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we have, of course, technology does not come without patents. We have a bunch of patents all over this, pending as well as granted. We can do multiple different combinations. I call it kind of a puzzle effect. In my hand, we can do it this way. We can do it horizontally, vertically. Think about just kind of a puzzle effect. So we can arrange the arrays any way you want it. So here's a few others. Now, the best, again, it's the combination, the flexibility is what gives us our edge. So as you see here, it's been done. We can go up to 3,000 watts. Here's another couple examples. Here's one, so we've done it actually vertical. It depends on what the market requires, what the actual applications are. The existing lights that we are replacing, we can match their exact patents, exact the way they are, and we can do what I call it a pin-to-pin replacement. So you just take out one socket and you put another one. So, where's the market for this? Well, high power, stadiums, concert halls, tennis plays, anywhere that requires high power and high light that you can think of. Here you see, for example, a typical stadium. I believe this is from my own country, Yankee Stadium in New York, which is at least 100 years old. Most of these stadiums, when they were built a long time ago, they had higher CFL type of lighting, as you can see here. And the biggest challenge for LED lighting has been to replace those high projector floodlights at the top of the stadiums, because they're very old structures, and with just the heat sinking products that are mostly out there today, it's just way too heavy, way too big. It's a safety issue. The concern is the stadium's ability to have any kind of issue of these lights falling down. So we fixed this problem. We're very excited. As I mentioned, it's very light. Regardless of its size or power, we're able to contain it inside a single block like I'm holding, or a 200 watt one. Of course, for stadiums, we can make them horizontally this way as well. So let me give you guys, again, a little bit more of the technical details. So 4 kV, as you know, is the latest thing now, and the TLCI actual certification derives from that. So with our technology, we've confirmed that we can pass all these certifications. Here's a 1,000 watt SuperLite. So like I mentioned, we have specs up to 3,000. Here's a 1,000 one. We've done some analysis, so it gives about 900 units of 1,000 watt solutions. The biggest thing is that with a heatsink traditional product would be around 2 tons or so. So for example, A 50-watt heatsink product would be about 12 kilograms. We can make it in about 3 kilograms. So, you notice that I spoke a lot about Europe, US, mainland and China, and everywhere around the world. I didn't mention too much about Spain. There's a reason for that. Because Spain has been one of the strongest points of LEDUS, especially in the European market. We have so many different projects and developments going there, and we have one of the most excellent teams there. Next to me, not only I have a wonderful lady, but one of the best engineers I've seen in years, and she's head of our Spanish team. Chari Longo, why don't you get up here and tell everybody about Spain, what's going on?
Thank you very much, Sonia. Thank you everybody for being here. It's a pleasure to share with you LEDUS projects in Spain, especially Arrowhead project, an important reference for us because of the technology used and the institutions involved in it. Within the outdoor area, we have more than 40,000 LEDUS street lights installed in Spain. Some of the councils where we have replaced existing luminaires by LED technology are Jaén with more than 17,000 lamps, Gandia with more than 11,000 lamps, Tarancón, the first project of LEDUS in Spain with more than 3,000 lamps, and nowadays on progress, Cubillos del Sil and Laguna del Duero, both with more than 5,000 lamps. With the change to LED technology, energy consumption and carbon dioxide emission have been reduced by more than 62% in all the cases. About indoor lighting application, we have installed around 40,000 LEDUS LED tubes using Esclara IC technology, explained by my mate Tony before, in park and in Solus Corsa and car parks. We have also replaced existing lighting in Vallesol residences. In this case, LEDUS product use were LED panels, LED bulbs, LED tubes, and LED panel downlights, among others. In this case, with the change to LED technology, energy consumption and carbon dioxide emission have been reduced by more than 50% in all the cases. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Arrowhead project. It's a Zigbee smart control pilot. The project has an investment of 80 million euros and the participation on 78 institutions from 11 different countries. And it's also co-financed by the European Union and the Ministry of Energy, Tourism and Industry. The main objective of this project is to increase energy efficiency and flexible use of energy using cooperative automation in buildings, public infrastructures, energy processes, and the energy sector using embedded technologies. Our main partner in this case is Indra, responsible for the design, implementation and demonstration of a pilot in Barcelona, including a smart lighting solution and an advanced energy efficiency system in buildings. Our cooperation was in the area of the smart lighting solution that includes a square in Barcelona city where sensors will be installed in LEDUS luminaires in order to monitor all the information like light intensity, energy consumption and mobility of pedestrian vehicles, for example. The lights will incorporate LED technology to carry out control over all the parameters monitored. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Zigbee. Zigbee is a wireless language that devices use to connect to one another. It provides new ways to use light, improve comfort and convenience, and the most important and the reason why we are working for, safe energy. Zigbee allows consumers easy to use control over their LED fixtures, switches, remotes, and also lets consumers to change light remotely to reflect task, ambience and season, all while managing energy use and making the installation greener, the most important in these days. The technology defined by Zigbee specifications is intended to be simple and more cost-effective than other wireless personal area networkings, such as Bluetooth or more general wireless language like Bluetooth, like Wi-Fi. Above, you can see a typical installation of public lighting, including a Zigbee control and also the main parameters of this technology in comparison with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. The main advantages of this, sorry because it's a little moved in the main advantages of this technology are it's a reliable and robust system because uses a mesh configuration connection. It's low power, it's secure, it's universal because it's built on 2.4 GHz, which is available anywhere around the world, and it is flexible. Products with Civic logo can work together even if they are from different companies. And now our business case in Barcelona, we done the complete installation of LEDUS floodlight using Zigbee smart control nodes inside each luminaire, and also the installation of the concentrator, antennas and telemetry device inside the cabinet. And here you can see the next. Some real photos of the installation done in Barcelona. Thank you very much everybody, and as Tony said before, we will be very grateful if you come to our booth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony and Terry.